Okay, so welcome to the second edition of the Alta West Summit podcast. Today, I have the absolute pleasure to host our new internal sales rep and deal maker extraordinaire, Eli McKitrick. So basically, we've created this new role because I'll let Eli explain, but there's this new role that's recently been filled by Eli, and it's to meet these emerging needs in the market. So, Eli, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes, so the new roles inside sales. Armando had created this role, and essentially it was there was so many new brokers that were being onboarded to Alta West, and whether that was from BDMs, meeting at conferences, coming into underwriting, things like that, that was hard for the sales team to help those brokers that are whether they're new to brokering as a whole or they're just new to Alta West. It was hard to bridge the gap with, hey, I got to take care of my deals and I have to help these people and really help them along with the private process, because the private lending is much different than the A and B side. So when they now come to Alta West, most of my job is just assisting people from start to finish with their deals that are either new to Alta West or new to brokering as a whole. So I help it's been so far extremely successful with brokerages that are new in general. Maybe they might be new franchises or something like that, whether it's Alberta, BC, or Ontario. I'm just getting in there and showing the team, hey, this is what it looks like to work with Alta West, doing presentations, slowing it down for them, breaking it down for them, saying, hey, this is when you do the deal run with me to the deal being funded, I'll be there every step of the way. If you don't understand something, give me a call, text, email, whatever it is, so that I can ease the process, because it's not the same as traditional lenders and what some brokers are used to. So I'm helping them bridge the gap and being more of a white glove service to them. And it's been extremely successful. I'm happy to be doing it.
So you have experience as an underwriter before that, very robust, and it's an intense job. But how is that? Like, when I see you work, like, you just know the ins and outs of the business really, really well now. But how is that kind of background in the actual kind of like the mechanics of the deal as a underwriter come to inform your sort of, let's say, white glove, bare knuckle service for these new brokers?
My background in underwriting does help, and it comes in handy literally every single day. I know exactly what we can put in our portfolio, and I know exactly what we can't put in our portfolio. So doing a deal run with a broker, it helps even knowing, hey, this is the documentation we're going to ask for. So knowing, hey, when I get a phone call if we can do this deal, I'm able to, I feel, understand the deal quite quickly and know whether we can or can't do it. And even it comes down to lending areas. I know exactly where we can lend, I know where we can't lend, and I know when there's time that we need to push on one and try to make it work, because we want the brokers to be helped out if they've been denied from every other place because it's a little bit out of the GTA, or it's a little bit out of Vancouver. We want to actually help that Canadian get into their house, so or their home. So my underwriting background is very versatile, and
it seems like it's a very good tool. You're talking about the difference between so you work with a lot of new brokers, or is it primarily brokers who have only really done A and B and they're starting to get into our area?
So that's actually a great question. So I would say it differs from province to province. In BC and Vancouver, there's a lot of young brokers. There's a lot of young brokers who are hungry and want to know how each process works. So I think in Vancouver, I've had a lot of younger brokers around my age coming to me for help and seeing, hey, this is how Alta West works. This is how a private lender works. And Alta West is one of Canada's top premier lenders. So it's when you understand our processes, you understand the private lending process. So I think it differs there a bit in BC. Alberta, I would say I see a lot of people that are new to the private side, same in Toronto. It's the same in each province, but what the difference is what we saw at MPC last year is that private business is growing rapidly. From 2018 to now, private lending now represents 9% of deals. So before, if a broker was getting their deal done all A and B, and then, hey, you take client Joe to, you take him to an A lender, and they can't get their deal done, they go to the B lender, and they can't get their deal done. They'd be like, well, sorry, man, come back in a year when you improve your credit, job, whatever it might be. And they would lose that commission. Now, brokers are realizing, hey, there's these other places I can go when my client's only been in Canada for a shorter period of time, or my client is new to the industry and has started their own business, or they just have a bit more bruised credit and they just need help bridging the gap for the next year to rebuild and get into a A or B lender, a traditional lender.
That's great. Very, very interesting. And would you say, I talked about this with Armando as well, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. He's quite emphatic that the way that regulation is changing in Canada and in each province, that the average Canadian is going to continue to have a harder and harder time qualifying at traditional lenders. And so do you see the same thing? Like when you're, because you're really boots on the ground, white gloves on, boots on the ground. Do you feel like this is true? Like, do you feel like this is going to be like what we do as Alta West on the private side, that this is going to continue to grow? Or
it's going to continue to grow. Alta West the banks and A and B lenders are cracking down on what they want and what they're getting more and more specific. There's not much leeway right now, especially with the economic landscape that we're facing right now. When we look at Alta West, we're able to help such a broad range of Canadians that I think that is where, we're a Swiss Army knife. We don't specialize in one client, one thing. We're able to help out everyone. And I think that is where Alta West will continue to grow. And people don't want to, you send your deal to a traditional lender and it takes 2 weeks for you to know if they can or can't do your deal. Alta West, we'll let you know within 4 hours if we can or can't do your deal. So I think that people are liking that now on the private side, is that, if a couple is buying a house, they don't have to go, okay, well, I'm buying this house. Do I have to wait for 2 weeks to know if we can afford it? No, you send your deal to Alta West. We'll let you know by the end of the day, and we'll get you a commitment in your hand by the end of the day, knowing you can get into your house that you and your spouse want. So I think that is something that Canadians are really enjoying. Not even enjoying, that is something that they want. They want to know if they can have their foot in the door, and they go, hey, we're willing to have this mortgage for a year or 2 years, and then we're going to get into the A lenders when we can just refinance and we don't have to worry about the time frame. So I think that is the thing that Alta West are changing the game on, and people are starting to realize that.
That's cool. Last thing I wanted to ask you is, what is it to you, what does Alta West do better than anyone else?
One, we've got a quick response time and a quick turnaround time. And one of the things too is our underwriters, they want to make your deal work. We're not going to look at it one frame and go, hey, we want the 599 rate, and it doesn't work out. We're not going to just kill your deal. Alta West is going to look to see how they can structure your deal so that you can stay in your home, get the home, and whatever it is. I think that is one of the best things Alta West does. That's
really cool. And I asked Armando this as well. Final piece of parting advice you would give brokers and you would give borrowers.
Brokers, know your client, KYC. Know your client, that when they come to Alta West and the borrower wants their money as soon as they can get it, whenever we come back with a question, you have the answer. You've done your due diligence, so that we know at the end of the day, you're helping your client. And we feel that it doesn't need to be super personal with your client, but we know that you do have somewhat of a personal connection with their client and you understand them.
Right.
So I think that's a big one. KYC, know your client. and that's going to help us at the end of the day. And for borrowers, the best advice I give to borrowers is be honest with your broker. When you give them all the information, when they come to us, there's nothing missing, there's nothing left out, so that they know that they can turn around your deal quickly and get you the funds you need and the home you want.
Amazing. Well, that is all the time we have. Eli, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you very soon in Toronto, actually.
Yeah.
Can't wait. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully you, me, and Armando can all be on here very soon. And
it would be great. All right. Well, thank you for having me.
My pleasure.